And we are live. Welcome to Film Companion, guys. Welcome to Facebook. We're live out of Bandstand at the Facebook office. You guys have a film up for release. It's called Mad Ko Dard Nahi Hota. And with me on Film Companion today, joining me for a live chat, Vasan Bala, Abhimanyu and Radhika. What was the thought process behind dropping that new trailer? What were you sensing and what was the vibe pre-new trailer?
Oh, nothing. It's like a norm. It's a formality because, once you've gone to a festival, you're like scarred. So you have to come up with a conventional trailer which tells the people about the hero, heroine and the villain. Yeah. So which is what we did.
Yeah. And what's the vibe right now? You're about a week away from release. What's the vibe? What's the general mood between the team?
I don't know.
There's a lot of excitement, to be honest.
See, for us, we are like super excited because it's our first film.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
She's like, I've been here, done that.
Oh please, no, I'm really nervous and I'm really. मेरे तो butterflies हैं, तुम्हारे पास नहीं है तो मेरे को कुछ नहीं पता.
No, but I actually did want to ask you. Yet they're reintroducing Radhika with this
Yes.
film. You've had Pataka, of course, and
Yes.
seen some giddying heights on television as well. But how are you helping them cope with the nerves?
I'm not helping them at all.
I'm not helping
They're
them.
very, I'm like,
तू तेरा देख.
You're on your own.
they don't need it, यार. मतलब they're pretty chill. मतलब अब तो international film festivals घूम आए इनको.
Standing ovation,
Standing
no less.
ovations की आदत है.
International कुछ भी कर लो, India में किसी को कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ता.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the litmus test is here and this is like the home ground.
Yeah.
It is like the...
Everything's based
Yeah,
here,
yeah,
right? This is the audience that we...
And these are the
made it
stories
for.
we know.
Yeah.
Right.
So, yeah, we need the audience approval here. No matter how much the number is, but yeah. So, Kesari first day, first show देख लो, second day हमारा है.
Second day हमारा है. हमें कोई first day आपको बुलाने का नहीं है. Second.
You know, when I interviewed Abhimanyu earlier on, he talked about how the one thing that kept him going through the rather long process of making this film was you. And it was just you driving the ship. I want to know from you, how did you keep a team motivated when everything was possibly going wrong for the film?
Kept my fingers crossed. Like there was, because this was not even like a couple of weeks of waiting. This was like a couple of months and then eventually it became 2 years. So every day I was preparing myself for that phone call or that message saying, we have some other film to do. So I was okay with it also after a while. Just prepared myself for that. But kudos to them, they stuck with it. It would have been difficult. Because I had made up my mind, I had seen Surya and Supri in them. So I was wishing that message never happens or that phone call never happens.
Mm-hmm. And speaking of seeing your characters in them, I want to know how the hell you managed to see this girl. It could not have possibly been from the TV that you had possibly seen her in.
I hadn't seen her. I hadn't seen any of her TV.
Thank God.
It was just like an introduction video that Mukesh had shown me.
Okay.
Which just said, hi Radhika, and I don't even remember. I just remember, hi Radhika. That's it. And I think I was pretty sold. And I think it was one of those very instinctive decisions wherein you have gone through some 50, 60 odd auditions and then you just see that hi Radhika and you're like done. Lock. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just hi Radhika.
Hi, I'm
Talent,
Radhika.
talent.
But what about this guy then?
So he went through another grill. He was in the initial phase of being auditioned. So there were a lot of boys and girls who had come in, and they were put in like a group, and they were auditioned for a long period of time. So poor guy every day would come and just participate and do his best.
Is this why you started loving giving auditions, Abhimanyu?
Yeah, it was so much fun because the feedback I would get from him was Kal aaja kuch karna.
Wow.
I mean, as vague as I could get, but also.
But at least he was calling me back the next day. So I said, "Kuch to kiya hai."
It's going right.
So Surya was the more difficult character because also it is the most black and white character in the film, and after a point when you're shooting scenes in a group, everyone's doing their stuff, but Surya has just to be one. And it takes a lot of patience and for that to do, because otherwise actors really want to do stuff in a scene.
Gulshan also told me about how physically taxing it was for all of them. So I want to talk a little bit about just the prep for you guys, because you're kicking some serious butt. You go, girl.
Yeah.
What was that prep like for the two of you?
Because I was like, I had never seen an action film in my life. मतलब मैं सारे genres देखती थी सिवाय action के. And so when I got on board, तब the grilling started, and I used to train for good 4-5 hours every day.
Wow.
And I used to watch one action film every night.
Part of your homework.
Part of my homework. Like I had a long list. That was like so torturous for me, because I used to watch it for 20 minutes, then I used to take a break. Breather. 20 minute और. So ऐसे होता था, but after a month or two I got used to it, and I was like, अरे अभी तो करते हैं. And then it went on for good 8-9 months. The training went on for good 8-9 months.
So what were you guys training in? Like what was...
Weapon training, Jeet Kune Do, so basically mixed
Mixed
martial
martial
arts,
arts, boxing, lot of different things. So Surya learns his action by watching action films on VHS. So I couldn't stick to one type of martial arts. I had to learn various, because Jackie Chan has a different style, Bruce Lee has a different style, Sammo Hung has a different style.
What have you mastered, Abhimanyu?
I have not mastered anything. I don't even call myself a martial artist. I'm a student. I'm still learning. There's so much more to go.
Imagine.
It takes 10-15 years to come close to even mastering one martial art. And I've just dwelled a little bit and done 9 months of rigorous training, but that doesn't add up to anything. So I don't call myself a martial artist. I did what I did to become Surya, that's it.
Yeah. And then you go and screen this film in international films, and there's like it's a next level reaction, because sitting here in India, we could only see those images of the lines of people waiting outside. What would you say was that moment for you, Vasan, where you felt really vindicated for the struggle?
Because also our festival, the festival had programmed a film as a second last film. And then a second last film, and being the only Indian film ever, and also the only Indian film in that lineup, I wasn't sure if people would turn up, because in a festival what happens is maximum number of people come for the first 4 days, talk business and then leave, and then there were only the film watchers. So, but when I went there to the venue, and actually a friend of mine, Aparita, who is a journalist over there, she had actually posted it on Instagram. That look at the line, and that's when I realized, people have turned out. And when you went there, and then you saw all the people, and they were not just Indians, but people from all over the world, who just stayed back to watch films. And Midnight Madness is like an interesting, very Chandan kind of an experience, because it's a very traditional single screen at the Ryerson Hall. It can accommodate around 1,200 people, and it was 90% full. And it was electric, and because we had to crank up the volume just like we do it out here. We don't follow pristine technical standards, but just do that. So that hall required adjustments like those. So it was pretty cool. And when the people reacted, and so I didn't know about the standing ovation. So when I walked in, I just saw people clap. I couldn't register that they were standing. It's only when I saw that photograph, which was posted, that is when I realized, oh God, this happened. And it's wonderful.
Surreal.
Yeah.
Was there a scene that was particularly difficult for you to can? It'll be fun to know when we watch the film on Holi, guys, because that's when it releases. Just to know what went into actually making this film. One scene that was particularly hard on you guys or interesting?
For me, it was the climax. It was really, really challenging and a lot of fun. So we finished my whole section in a day. And so by the end of it, I was zonked out. So Vasan sir was right in front of me, and I could see through him. And he was like, Radhika? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, okay, let's carry on. So that was one moment which I really remember. And that whole day, that was really special for me.
How were you so patient, Vasan sir? Because it took almost 3 years for the film to make.
I don't know, you just wake up every day thinking today is going to be the day that your film will get made.
Wow. That's a great attitude.
No, it took a while. I was like a supremely pessimistic guy. It's only I got married to Prerna, who's a Punjabi. She kind of changed the whole attitude. Yeah. She said, wake up with a smile. I would always wake up grumpy. So I think a lot of credit goes to her. No, seriously, just if you're a South Indian filmmaker, get married to a Punjabi.
That is great advice.
You'll make happy
That's a
films,
new one also. Huh?
which hopefully works.
Okay. Someone wants to know what your expectations from the Indian audiences are. Because you guys have seen
Yeah.
some interesting success. I want to know what you're expecting from the hardcore Chandan audience, like you said.
We just want them to go and enjoy the film. To be honest, because I feel we've cracked something over here.
Yeah.
And it's because of the passion that the core team had. Everyone from the DOP Jay Patel to Ankita Kulesh and
Abhilasha and
Abhilasha,
everybody.
the whole team was so passionate about this project. Everyone wanted, it was film before them for everyone. And putting in so much truth, passion and effort, it resonates with people. So I just want people to go and have fun, because we had a ball.
Yeah.
Making the film.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was a really close-knit set, and we just want people to enjoy. What we did was enjoy. So,
Was the Deadpool connection conscious, or did you realize it after you wrote it?
No, yeah, because I think this whole breaking the fourth wall and all has been done by Kader Khan. So, so he's not just like spoken to the audience, he's also summoned the camera to him. He'll be like, the camera will come towards us. So it's been going on since just suddenly this word, has become popular after Deadpool.
Yeah.
So, so that was never really a conscious thing.
I mean,
But the moment of truth was when the producer of Deadpool 2 messaged saying she loved Marth.
yeah, that was
like-
quite epic. That was quite epic.
Okay. Is there a possibility of a part 2 with the same leads? They want to know.
Of course
as
there
well.
is. Of course there is. There is no story as such now, but there should be a part 2. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so Zarara wants to know, is there a romance in the movie?
You'll have to wait and watch. You'll have to watch it. You'll have to watch it. Did she get what she wanted?
Okay, Vasan, there's also another question. Can we please get a cinematic universe? Is that something that's on the cards for you?
Yeah, I mean, there are these characters that I've written, and also, once me and Vikram had also spoken about this, like Bhavesh and Surya and Supri coming
Yeah.
together. So you never know.
Rahul Desai, who
Oh, wow.
writes for Film Companion, wants to know, Vasan, what exactly did you say when you had to pitch this film, story, or style to producers?
So it would be different with different people. I mean, once you get into the room, you kind of know the vibe. Sometimes you just self-sabotage because you don't want to work with a producer. You just say, "Aisa kuch film hai," and then you just confuse it. But with Ronnie, I think I was, because I was dying and I was really hoping. So I could say things like, it's like a Stephen Chow film, like Kung Fu Hustle, but, in a Sai Paranjpe world. Because he's also a cinephile. I mean, Ronnie, he understands cinema.
Yeah.
He watches a lot of cinema. So I could say all this to him. And, talk to him like a film buff and like someone who loves film.
He
So,
got it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you, between the two of them, who feels pain easily, emotional that is?
Emotional, I think both of them are good at hiding it. Because I think both were really sore throughout the training, throughout the shoot. Maybe they confided in amongst each other. But it never came up to me. I
Yeah.
think he had broken his ring finger.
This one.
There was a fracture, and I came to know about it. I think 5 days into the fracture, and we were shooting the climax then. So you put a cast and then just quickly remove it before. So I had no clue. I think all of them. I think them, Gulshan. I think they had a huge threshold. Or they just wanted this film to happen and just gave it all.
That's true.
Is Vasan a screamer or sulker on set?
Sulko.
That also hardly.
Nahi,
Once I
very
remember
hardly.
this thing. I remember this thing. He was sitting like this, and he was like, the ADs came, said something, and went, and he had given instruction. He's like, "मेरी बात कोई सुनेगा set पे?" He's like, "मेरी बात ही नहीं सुन
No,
रहे."
he's so sensitive as a director. I remember there was some injury on set, and that person was taken to the hospital and everything. He just went aside.
Yeah,
और
that
मैं
was the
देखती हूँ
only time,
कि he's crying. And that day I was like, oh shit. And he came back and he was like, let's just pack up for today. Nobody's in the right frame of mind to shoot. He's that sensitive. And yeah, that was... he's
Other than that, the set was extremely calm.
very calm.
Yeah.
Very calm.
'Cause,
Very
I was
calm.
surprised. I was like, अच्छा हो रहा है, बुरा हो रहा है, I'm not
But we
understanding.
didn't even realize that we're shooting an action film. It's
Yeah,
not calm.
that was actually a funny thing for first 15 days or whatever, 1 take, 2 takes, sir would say, okay. So I used to think I'm so bad that sir is like, इसमें effort ही नहीं डालते, जो मिल रहा है उसमें. I went and asked people on the set. I said, are you sure? मतलब, Vasan sir thinks I'm that bad about. मतलब 3-4 take ही नहीं दे रहे मुझे. हाँ, and so.
Okay, fill in the blanks. If this film had not gotten made,
I would have been trying to make it still.
Oh, so nice.
I'd be waiting for my debut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be doing all the cliche films with my hair flying and Mohabbatein ke
thank
Patte.
God it got made, huh? What is Abhimanyu's biggest weakness?
You're asking me, asking him.
Weakness.
You know?
Maybe he can just scream and cry and, just express maybe a little more. Sometimes he just keeps a lot of things to himself. Yeah, I wish I had known about the fracture and, those things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's true.
What's the biggest lesson you guys learned from making this film?
For me personally, it was that if you put your heart and soul into something, the fruits will come. And like having no background and starting off like a इतना नौसिखिया से भी कम कुछ हो सकता है क्या? And just getting out of the film with the thing that I can do something, and I can kick and I can probably do something. That sense of belief, that is what I gained after this film.
Yeah. What about you?
2 lessons really quick, hard, and everlasting: belief and patience.
Patience, of course. Is that your big lesson?
Patience, yeah, patience. Patient, I think I always was. But being a little more happier in life is the biggest lesson, I think.
How lovely.
At least because it takes an effort to be happy. And it's very easy to sulk, which I do. So I think that one thing I really want to strive. And just try and look happy.
So everyone's looking...
try and look happy.
You guys are looking very, very happy, I must tell you. The film comes out this Holi, that's the 21st of March. All the very best.
Thank you.
For those of you guys who've tuned into the live, thank you so much for your questions.
Thank you.
You can watch the film on the
21st.
21st.
और पानी तो पीते रहना चाहिए.
Exactly.
Right.
Plug. Thanks, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.